If you've missed any of the earlier episodes of the Great Tastes series and want to see the shows and get all the recipes, go to greattastesmb.ca. Watch them when you want to watch them.
Welcome back to the Grant Park Liquor Mart Education Center, where Sarah Cahill is rocking our world with dairy best desserts. We get to have some fun now because we're scooping and we're mixing with our chocolate cheesecake parfait. You take chocolate and cream cheese and you put it together, make something unbelievably good.
That's right. So we're going to start with our cheesecake filling. And so we've started off by creaming some cream cheese, which is a big part of our cheesecake,
kind
right?
of an important
it's
element.
An important element.
Yep.
To which we're going to add some sugar, which makes it just a little bit sweet. Okay, and then we're going to mix that up.
I always forget to take the cream cheese out. I like to, it obviously mixes a lot better when it's a little bit softer. It's
You know what?
rock
You're
hard.
absolutely right. And sometimes a good cheese, you can put it in the microwave for a couple seconds.
Yeah.
But only a couple seconds, right?
It's a big but with that one.
Because then you had that happen where you kind of cook it a little bit.
It was a big sloppy mess.
So this is sour cream.
Cool.
So again, it gives us that like tanginess that we're used to finding in a cheesecake, right? So we'll get that all in there. Not a lot, but just a little bit. And then we'll continue mixing. Actually, we'll add our vanilla as well while we're taking a break. There you go. And it also gives us some nice flavors.
You don't have to, I'm not going to take terribly long to mix that up. Just
No.
swoop, swoop, swoop.
And so in the meantime, what you can also do is whip your whipping cream.
Okay.
So we've got our whipping cream already whipped and ready to go. And we're going to fold it into our mixture here now that it's all ready to go.
And speaking of time, we are going to get to our pudding here in just a minute, but you said the recipe that you're using comes with, recipe for pudding, but you could also use instant pudding, and you're getting just as much of that fabulous Manitoba milk in there.
Exactly.
So it's perfect.
Yeah.
Quick.
You need a quick recipe. This one's quick, and especially if you use that instant pudding in there. And actually, that's a great way to play with different flavors too, right?
I was going to say, like, you could use, banana pudding or any other kind of butterscotch, I suppose, too, right?
You could do whatever your favorite pudding is. Pistachio would be kind of cool.
Oh, okay, now we're just getting crazy.
But so we're going to fold our whipped cream in here. And so now again, folding is not beating the whipped cream in. You want to keep that sort of light fluffiness of the whipped cream, and then you're folding it into the cheesecake sort of filling there so it remains nice and fluffy.
And how do you resist not dipping a finger in there?
I know, hey. So this looks pretty good. It's pretty well mixed together in there. And so now we're going to make our parfaits.
All right.
Okay.
How do we do this?
So we can plate our parfaits in any kind of glass or cup we want. We're going to put it into like a whiskey glass here, but you could also use a martini glass. Or if you're going to, say, a party or a dinner, like a potluck, and you're not wanting to worry about, retrieving all your glassware.
At the end of the night.
I really like using these wine
What's wrong
glasses
with
that you
that?
can get from the dollar store.
They're pretty too.
They're not bad, and when you put the layers in there, they look really quite nice.
It's the layers that make it look fantastic.
That's right. It's all about the presentation.
What's number one?
Number one is going to be our cookie. So I'm using a shortbread cookie because I love shortbread. But you could also use an Oreo or like any kind of cookie you want. So just something to give it some texture.
Yeah.
So we're going to put a couple tablespoons of our cookie in our glass there. Just to get a nice cookie bottom. And then I am going to add a couple scoops of our cheesecake filling.
Now this is brilliant because when I first started, we started working on the recipe, and I thought, well, how do you do it so that, because this is what happens, except with me, it gets all around and it looks, not as nice when it's nice layers. But when you've got the scoop, why didn't I think of that?
It should be a little bit better,
I mean,
right?
a little bit's okay, but mine is like, just awful.
And so then we're gonna put a couple scoops of that in there. And you know what, the other thing, it's pretty forgiving once you get the layers inside. And now the other thing we should be doing is a bit of a tap.
Tapping it down, okay.
Sorry about that, makes it kind of loud.
You said 3?
Yeah, let's put 3 in there.
Oh,
there we
nice.
go. And so we're gonna put one more layer in. Yeah.
All right,
One
you're
more
the
scoop,
boss.
Sorry, there we go.
All right.
Okay, so then we're gonna put a couple more scoops of our cookie in there. And these are actually really good to make like a night ahead. And then the cookie soffens a little bit.
Just
and
a wee
it's
bit.
so good.
Yeah. And then you've got that nice, it's almost like a surprise at the bottom, right? Because now that you've added all that extra stuff, if you haven't made it, you might not even realize there's that little bit of extra cookie on the bottom. And I don't know, with these desserts, it's almost like you know, you've got all of your different layers, but that cookie, there's just something so special about it, right?
It's like for the cookie.
You kind of do. It's true. So that's super easy. And then, you know, and you had actually, I got a little hack here. You put it in, you said sometimes you like to transport it in like in a shoebox, which is so clever if you're taking it to a party or whatnot. So
yeah, it's got the high sides, and then you get the lid, and it's
lots of space.
Little cheats.
Fantastic. Chocolate cheesecake parfaits. Man, I can't wait to see what Sheila Nash, our product expert from Manitoba Liquor and Lotteries, does when she comes back here with our beverage pairings here on Great Tastes of Manitoba.
You're watching Great Tastes of Manitoba, brought to you in part by Manitoba Liquor Mart. Please drink responsibly. Moderation tastes so much better.